Okay, so I did my faces, and another fun opportunity, I'm gonna do kind of show you two samples of something that you can do, and this could be a little more personalized. So thinking about my paper, I have it horizontal for this part because I can actually come in and do my name. You could do regular, I like to do bubble letters for this, but you could do like a block letter. So here's my name, but then all the way through my paper, I can focus on repetitive lines. So for an example here, I could use a line to go around my name. Sometimes I call this the racetrack. So if you did the MOLA art last week, I talked about that racetrack or just that repetitive line going around. I could think about adding zigzags. And so you can see I'm staying with the same line pattern over and over. And when you finish, you could go in and color. Sometimes I'll actually just choose one color and just do like some, it's called emphasis. So I'm gonna emphasize a few areas. So that's a fun idea. I can break it in and do curved lines. And even in my curved lines, I could create more lines. And so for this project, it's really fun, and it's actually, I find it very relaxing. If you've ever looked at some of the art books or the coloring books that you can find at stores now, they have a type of art called Zentangle. So that word Zen is like that idea of relaxing. And so they were created for people to just sit and enjoy the process of coloring. And the repetitive lines that I'm actually doing now is that whole idea of that Zentangle concept here. So I'm even coming in and I can do some lines within lines. And you can see how lines, when you repeat them, you start actually noticing and seeing some shapes. So I can see some triangles, half circles. Okay, so that's the fun part. As I go in, another thing I enjoy doing is, like when I was talking about emphasizing with one color, there's times that I'll use my Sharpie and I might just emphasize with the black, or thinking about thick and thin. I might come in and do some thick and thin lines, or do thicker ones with maybe an extra layer of my Sharpie. I'll show you in just a second here. So let's just say I want to do a pattern. Another really important component that we talk about, patterns. We see patterns all the time. Even in your math class, you find patterns with numbers. Okay, so you can see how I'm making a couple of my lines a little bit thicker. So that's a fun concept as well. So I'm going to continue working, and I'd encourage you. This is a really fun project, and like I said, it's nice because you can make it personalized. Even if you wanted, let me grab another paper here just to give you a couple options. I could actually, even if I wanted to make just my initial. Okay, so this is your piece of art, so you have the opportunity to go in. A lot of times I like to leave my letter plain, but then all the areas around, I might come in and do some different things. I could even think of intersecting or crisscross lines. So when you think of even a checkerboard, okay, Okay, so these are, once again, just a couple ideas, and as I would work, I can create lines all around. It's a fun piece where, since it's a little more personalized with your name or your initial, you could go and do something great with it. You could put it on your bedroom door, you could frame it, you could hang it in your room. So that's a fun idea. So I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna keep working on my berry one, and then you can kind of see what a finished one could look like. All right, get a piece of paper, I hope you're enjoying. Okay, so I thought I would do one last project that is going to have that emphasis of line. And once again, using a little personalization, I'm going to use actually my arm and my hand for this. And I'm going to trace with a pencil. The reason I'm choosing a pencil and not a marker or a Sharpie is because I don't want those things to get all over my hand as I'm tracing it. If you're using crayons, that wouldn't be a problem. I'm hoping you can hear me. My son is just starting to mow the front lawn, so hopefully this isn't too distracting. So I'm going to continue going in, and I'm going to outline with my Sharpie. I like using Sharpies and markers for like outlines because it does help keep things just a little more bold. And then working in my hand, I can think of different line patterns that I would like to incorporate. So we did our whole line worksheet. Hopefully you can hear better. He's moving along here. And I'm going to incorporate and once again repeat. So very similar to when I did my name art, but this time I can use my hand. And so this is a fun way to continue practicing patterns, lines, and then you can go in and have a really great time coloring. I grabbed some metallic markers today. I haven't used these much, and I thought it would be a fun, just different material. And I actually might not color my whole hand. I might, once again, he's back with the mower. I'm going to just incorporate one of those lines that I didn't do on my worksheet is curly. That's a fun one to use. And I could even use lines within lines and shapes within shapes. So I want to encourage you to work nice and slow and just enjoy the process. So I will come back as I finish, and I'll also start incorporating some of those metallic markers just so you can see what they look like. They're a really fun art medium. I like them. They're fun. I know my fourth graders, you were able to use them this year. All right, I'll be back.